What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and some more Flames of War coverage here for Late War. So we're working on slowly building up a Late War force or two for the Germans. And so we've covered some smaller purchases already, some additions, but today it's been a little bit delayed, but we wanted to at least show you guys one of the German Late War starters here. And this is the German starter force. So at some point we're trying to pick up the SS one as well, but it is just absolutely hard to find, at least in our area and even online. It seems to be perpetually sold out. But anyway, so this German starter force, again, love what Battlefront's been doing over the last several years here now with not just Team Yankee, but Flames, really just creating these sort of all-in-one battle forces that give you essentially a complete list, but obviously, you'll probably want to customize down the road, and all in a pretty neat package, really good price point, and again, just knocking it out of the park, and basically everything is more or less like all plastic now when we get these. So these bigger boxes, again, specifically Late War, right, but Tank Hunter Kampfgruppe, 14 vehicles, 6 guns, and 7 infantry teams. So in other words, obviously what we see pictured here. So again, we get a good amount of stuff, good amount of miniatures, but also a good variety in general as well. So these definitely have some weight to them. Show you guys on the back specifically. So we get 2 verbal wins, some AA coverage there, 4 Panzer 470s, so the long gun there, 3 Hetzers, everybody loves the Hetzers, 4 of the half tracks, 6 MG42 teams, a Panzerschreck AT team, and a unit leader with another MG40 or unit leader MG42 team. 4 10.5 centimeter howitzers, so the typical German howitzer there, and then also 2 88s, so just for that extra heavy and long range anti-tank firepower there, anti-anything really. So again, we get a list of everything that we get included here, and I love again that Battlefront is sort of making these the way these boxes are set up, right? So we get all the miniatures, the aforementioned miniatures. We get a complete A5 rulebook. So again, wish like all kind of like miniature companies would get on board with that, but like just again, fantastic value here. So if you're new to Flames, this is just a perfect way to start. Again, also all plastic, right? Super easy to work with. You get a start here booklet, decal sheets, of course, and unit cards. Again, the game does use those as well. So, and as it says, right, yeah, includes everything you need to start playing Flames of War, rules, models, cards. So I love it when they take care of you on that regard. Now, the only thing it doesn't list here, which again, a lot of times starter sets will include, are some dice, but not overly a big deal. It really is, again, if you're a gamer, you're going to be needing some dice, and obviously, like Flames, everything Battlefront uses D6s, the trusty old D6. But yeah, you get these big, fantastic starter sets here, guys. They clock in around 100 or so, I think. And again, just a great price point, especially with the books included. And then basically all you need at that point is like your army's specific book if you really want all the details and other options. But between the Start Here booklet and then, again, obviously just the actual rule book, great value to get started. So we're going to crack this open for you guys, show you everything here in the German starter force for Late War. So this is, again, the Tank Hunter Kampfgruppe. All right, guys, we got everything open here for the Tank Hunter Kampfgruppe, and there's just so much to show you, so we're going to take this in bits and pieces here. So again, we do get 2 of the verbal Vins here, so our flak tanks. And again, given that they're plastic sprue, so it has everything on there from like the normal kits. So really, if we wanted to, I believe, yep, we could do an Ostwind if we wanted to, or really if you wanted to skip it altogether for some reason, you can also just make like the regular sort of Late War Panther 4, no, Panzer 4 with the long barrel 75s. So you get 2 of those, so basically 4 sprues total here, the Panzer 4 body, and then the verbal Wind / Ostwind additions, essentially. Then next up, so we get 3 Hetzers, because everybody loves the Hetzers. Hetzers gonna Hetz and do their thing. So again, wonderful, super easy plastic here. Everything we need to get that up and running. Now, I am not 100% sure. Oh, I see. It's been a while since I've seen this. So, Hetzer / Martyr 3, so we do have some options there on what we're actually building. So, but again, ideally, the Hetzer as is described in the box set here, as far as sample army, sample points and all that. But again, wonderful job here on the plastic. Super easy to get all this stuff together. So for those a little bit more adventurous too in the kit bashing / conversion area, let us know in the comments if it is actually possible to get both variants out of the same sprue with some maybe clever assembly stages, and or if like magnetizing or anything is worth it to maybe swap some areas out. But anyway, so we get 3 of these. And then also briefly, coming back, forgot to show that earlier. So again, our plastic Wirbelwind / Ostwind bits and pieces there to add on. And really with this, just because it's mainly the turret, we can actually, I think, go ahead and also build the Panzer IV as is, right? Because we got the body, nothing much is going to change there. So really, there's nothing that really says we can't also just keep the Panzer IV turret and swap out things as needed. So I think that is an easy one there without really requiring too much extra work, if any. All right, moving on. The single biggest thing that we get here as far as quantity, we get 5 of the Panzer IV 70. So these are the tank hunters here, again with the big old casemate on there. And I believe we get both versions of the gun too. So the shorter one, I think that's the Panzer IV 48. And then the 70 is again the super long barrel there. But yeah, fun tank there that will definitely put some holes in allied vehicles. So again, 5 of those bad boys. But wait, there's more. There is so much damn stuff in this box. It is kind of bonkers. So we get 4 of these half tracks for our Panzer Grenadiers. Again, with some options there on the old weapons. And I believe even bits to make Pioneer half tracks as well. So love that. That's all just on one sprue. So 4 of those. So let's get that out of the way. These we've seen many a time, especially starting in mid-war. Of course, you get plenty of these, but we get a couple of flak 88s. Everybody knows what those does because it's the dreaded German 88. So not too much on the Allied side that will stand up to that, outside of some very late war things. And then we get some artillery as well. So if we can bring that in here. So again, the ubiquitous 10.5 centimeter with, I think, mid and late war barrels on there. So definitely double check on which one is which when you're doing your assembly. But again, seen these with Africa Corps and everything as well. So that takes care of a lot of those things. Now we do have a ton, again, there's so much stuff in this box. So, I mean, if you're worried about like the cost on these and like value for money, it's definitely there. Like there's just so much stuff in here. All the bases, of course. So not joking when we say it, but wait, there is more. So you got to have something to put in those half tracks. So what better than getting a whole bunch of infantry here to take care of all that on. So 2 of these sprues, more goodies here. Again, we're not going to get all of these out for you right now, but just know, right, there is a ton here. A lot of this is also going to be crew for various vehicles and things like that. But, you know, if we go back and look on the box, right, so we get 6 MG42 teams, a Panzerschreck team, the unit leader, so which is another MG42 team, and again, all that to pack into the half tracks. And then again, all the various artillery crews and everything else associated with that. So, sliding all that stuff to the side for a moment. Again, we have more value here for you guys, right? So you get in all these sets, whether it's, you know, mid, late war, Team Yankee, etc., all these new big boxes, you get your rule book. So again, you have to make another separate purchase. So that's all just included. So again, some other companies could learn from that too. But we won't talk about that in this one. All of our unit cards, again, pretty good stack there. Just to keep the video from going overly long, we're not going to go in detail on all of these, but just know, again, you get nice, awesome, glossy, full color cards for everything you can field in here, and plenty of decals, as you can see as well. So lots and lots of goodies there. But one thing that I absolutely love about these is the little starter force guide that you get here. So especially if you are brand new to the game and you don't have someone else kind of guiding you into the hobby, This is just a great step, and really any game should have something like this, especially in a starter box, right? Not just to get you through the kit that you currently purchased, right, and figure out, hey, what is what, since there's so many damn things in here, right? But then also give you some pointers on where to go next, especially, again, if you don't have like a very large, healthy, developed local meta or anything yet, and maybe more experienced players to get you in. So, this folds out too, so it's wonderful. So not only do we avoid having to have, separate component here for assembly, building, painting, and all that, they've really just done a wonderful job here of showing you everything in one go and making it very relevant. So again, this is just super slick here on Battlefront's part. Love this. So again, we got the Panzer IV 70s, and another reason why we don't need to look at the stat card separately, because, hey, we got them in here as well. So pointing you in the right direction, guiding you through the assembly stages. Again, with the verbal events, should be easy to, you could pick the Osman, but again, it's not pointed up in here as far as the sample list they give you, but, consult the card first. But again, save those Panzer IV turrets from the Panzer IV part of the sprues, and, if you need to swap out later, that way you're getting a couple extra tanks if you're not always running the verbal winds, which not everybody does all the time, right? So you got a couple extra Panzer IVs for different lists. Again, the Hetzer, got everything there. The Flak 88s, of course, we know what they do with that wonderful, if we can get the glare to stop for a second, that wonderful AT-14, rate of fire 2. So our artillery, of course, not the super heavy end of the German one, but by far, I think, the most common, right, the 10.5s. And then our infantry platoon here, Panzer Grenadier platoon and half-tracks, with some options there, and then how to base them and how to get all that organized as well. So, you have that on one side here, and again, just there's a ton of stuff here, right? So, flipping this over, not make a mess here. So, the one side had the cover. We're not going to focus on that anymore. But what I love that these do now, right, is that each of these boxes is a full list, basically. So, might not be the most effective thing ever, for tournaments, but that's why this is a starter force, right? You're starting. So again, we get basically a full list here with everything essentially in the kit. You can probably figure out some variations, but this is enough to get you up and running once you get all this assembled, of course, and play a fun game. And, again, similar starting players with similar starting boxes, ideally should be fairly well matched against each other. So start here, tells you everything, what's what, and then gives you some guides on the cards, quick starting, right, how to paint your models. So if you want to go the Vallejo route, the Army painter stuff, there's just so many options there, right? And Battlefront has some pretty neat kits out there as well that are designed to focus on those factions specifically and get you a really solid paint job. And then this is what I love, because again, great hand-holding for newer players in a game that has so many choices, right? Then there's so much stuff, right? Just, if this box is any indication, you do need a little bit of hand-holding for a new player, right? So by all means, as it says, right, once you played a few games, you got a decent grasp of the rules with, maybe some newer players, maybe, an occasional, more experienced player in there that can help guide as well and offer suggestions, maybe, store staff, if your local store is really supporting the game. Then, here's what you can do next, right? So it's easy to expand your army, right? All the box sets are complete units. Again, great thing for this game. So they're not gouging you on having to buy, oh, well, here's half your possible unit, and then now you got to buy some more stuff, and again, gouging players on that. So you get complete boxes now, complete sets of, or complete units, we should say. So, other options consider for Germans, right? The Puma, everybody loves the Puma. We've done an unboxing on that as well. So then Panzer IV tank platoons, right? So again, keep in mind we can already build a couple of Panzer IVs by just not gluing the whirlwind turrets on, and just actually still building the Panzer IV turret there. We get the SD KFZ 250 scout troops, and many, many more options, right? So at some point you'll probably want to certainly pick up either Bagration or any of the other late war German things. the card sets for the relevant book and so on and so forth. But this gives you, again, plenty of bang for your buck to start with. From there, at some point you probably want to play on more than just a plain old table if you don't have any terrain. So Battlefront, of course, has a lot of great stuff in their scale with Battlefield in a Box, but there's any number of things as well. So as you grow more proficient in your hobby, lots of goodies here. So, and then they give you some helpful links directly to their relevant pages here. And there's, of course, many more independent things out there to support players. So again, overall, love these sets here from Battlefront for Flames, but again, also available for Team Yankee, so alternate World War III. So well worth checking out, guys. And again, this is specifically the regular German starter force here. So the Tank Hunter Kampfgruppe, so the Tank Hunter battle force, basically. And again, can't say enough positive things about that. So, and there's, of course, plenty others out there for the different factions, and even the Germans have a couple other ones. So looking to pick up the SS one at some point. But let us know, guys, most importantly, what you think of these full-on army kits here, essentially these starting forces that kind of give you a great all-in-one deal. Any favorites that stand out? How did you get started in Flames? Have you been a long-time player throughout the different editions? Coming back to the game maybe after having left for a while, what do you think of the new edition, these new sets, ways to get everything, get players up and running, this sort of essentially all plastic approach for the most part. And if you're also brand new to the game, how did you get started? What did you choose to do? And where did you go from here? Especially if you chose this force, what did you get next? Hit us up in the comments, guys. Like and subscribe. We got plenty more coming for you, and we will see you in the next Flames of War video. Take care.